Today we have another 3-part collaboration with Zflocco and Artificial DM. Be sure to check out their channels for the rest of the stories. What happens when you have a guy who is both a bad DM and a bad player? Let me describe the situation. Last year, I started getting interested in the famous Critical Role series, and I had wanted to play D&D for a while now. I had done a small campaign before this, but it disbanded because we ran out of time to play. So I decided I would take the initiative to start my very own D&D campaign, and have a few of my close friends join me. The world is set on an island/peninsula that has a giant wall, too big to see over and climb over, that cuts across the northern side of the country. Long ago, a war broke out between humans and the other races, dragonborn, elf, tiefling, etc. The humans were easily defeated and the large population of them retreated north, and those that were left behind became slaves to the other races. In other words, humans are treated terribly. Also, there is no color within the country, which was a fun plot device for me. The party consisted of a half-elf cleric, Amaya, an Arakara rogue, Eris, an Arakara druid, Grifferith, and the terrible player, a dragonborn fighter, named Ira. It was Dragonborn, but the name was changed mid-session. So I explained the world I created so that you can see how much the terrible player's character did not make any sense. He gives me the character's description, and from what I remember, the main basics were that he was the son of the dragon god Tiamat, and an extremely powerful ice wizard/warlock. Reminder, I was a new DM and didn't see where this would become an issue. He goes on to say that he literally should not have been able to be born, and so he was cast out, where I believe he was picked up by a mercenary group. This group took him under his wing and they adventured to the lair of a dragon. That dragon took out all of the mercenaries, except Ira, and took him as a pet to take care of. Soon, another mercenary group took out that dragon and then took Ira and took him adventuring. Soon enough, the mercenary group left him, I guess in some magical forest, where I think he raised himself for the rest of his life. He later tells me that if he were to go back to this forest, it wouldn't exist. And as of my campaign, Ira is 13 years old. Fun. What's really great is that this character isn't an original character molded around my campaign. No. It's a character from a different campaign he played, which he just copied and pasted into my campaign. Yes, he is an experienced player, so he should, know how to make a new character? So he didn't follow my parameters of the wall. Every player, besides him, designed a character that had grown up inside the country, and they were unaware of the outside world, and forced me to make it so that, in his exact words, he could say, "My character is from behind the wall." I adjusted and made it so that his character had all his memories wiped from his past life, so he would be entirely fresh to the world at hand. He then asked me if he could have 2 feats at level 1. I say no, and limit him to just 1. Smart move on my part, which he takes the dual wielding feat. Another important fact is the way his character looks. It doesn't look like a dragonborn at all, but a human boy. Basically, his character is this scrawny looking anime boy with white hair and is human, and the only dragon-like characteristics are that he has a blue tail, small frail wings that he can glide with, and the fact that this guy says he's a dragonborn. The blue tail means that he's a blue dragon, not a metallic one, so he's clearly chaotic neutral. He also doesn't have actual scales. They are these holographic things that will cross and shimmer across his body at random. The way his character looks, becomes very important. Now the campaign begins. I go through what I think is a fairly good introduction of the party banding together. Not the stereotypical you see each other in a tavern. The two Arakaras start together. They are friends, so they already have an established bond, and eventually go to the tavern where they meet up with the half-elf cleric. Important, this is my best friend who is playing for the first time, and she ingeniously designs a character with a well-planned backstory, and she knows she is part human and actively tries to hide it from the party. They start to form a good bond and then continue to explore the small town. They eventually decide to head to the smith shop where they find Ira. I decide to get into role-playing right off the bat just to get comfortable with it, and I roleplay a scene with him that the clerk at the desk is arguing with him. "Hey! Get out of the store! We don't serve your kind here!"
"What do you mean? My kind helped you in the war hundreds of years ago."
"You sure didn't! You're a human!"
"What can I see within the shop?"
You can see that there are a few swords displayed on the wall behind him.
"I want to steal one."
"Right in front of him?" Sure. Roll sleight of hand." Ira rolls high. "Sure, I guess you steal the sword right in front of the guy. He has no clue you took it." "Get out of my store!" Ira pulls out a sword and threatens him. Dwarf is now afraid for his life, so he backs down and stops fighting Ira.
"I'm gonna take this other sword from you here, too."
Ira grabs the sword and takes it, and then leaves with the party and goes outside with them. So the point here, and the issue that will persist throughout this campaign, is that this guy will use his character and manipulate the way he is so that he can get what he wants. Like the fact that his character literally looks like a human boy, but then uses the excuse that, no, his character's a dragonborn, and that he should be allowed to waltz around the whole country without there being any sort of backlash from government officials. Joy. It's never a good time for a new DM's first session to have a problem player. You can see the mistakes piling up rather quickly, and not understanding that the DM has the power to put the foot down on nonsense is an important lesson. To find out how the rest of the story goes, be sure to check out Zflocco and Artificial DM's videos on the rest of the story. While you are still here, what do you think about this situation?